It was a chilly Thursday afternoon when I first noticed the silence in my home had changed. I'd lived alone for nearly 12 years in the quiet town of Aspen Lake, ever since Harold passed away. The house, nestled between pines and aging maples, had once been full of children's laughter, weekend chaos, and Harold's deep, comforting hums as he worked in the garage. But now it was mostly me and the wind brushing against the old glass windows. At 68, I thought I had seen most of what life had to offer. I wasn't unhappy, just settled. Each day had a rhythm. Tea at 8, crossword at 9, a short walk if the weather allowed, and always, soup at noon. It wasn't sad. It was just mine. But I never expected something, or rather someone, to disrupt that gentle pattern. Her name was Elise, the daughter of my old friend Marjorie. I hadn't seen her since she was a teenager. Now she was a woman in her 30s, confident, bright-eyed, and full of energy that made my quiet house feel suddenly too still. She knocked one day while I was watering my wilting violets. "Lorraine," she said. "It's Elise. Well, forever ago." We hugged awkwardly, my arms uncertain. She smelled like lilac and city air. Elise had been traveling, working remotely, and passing through towns she remembered from her childhood. Aspen Lake was one of them. She said she'd thought of me and wondered if I still lived here. Something in me softened. It had been so long since anyone had come to visit without needing something from me. She ended up staying 3 days. At first, I found her presence disorienting. She played music while cooking, moved things without asking, and asked questions that no one had asked me in years. "What did you used to love doing before everything got quiet?" she asked over breakfast. I hadn't thought about painting in years. It used to be my entire world. Before kids, before Harold, before life swallowed time whole. I had canvases still tucked in the attic, brittle with age. That afternoon, Elise insisted we bring them down. Dust-covered, yes, but not ruined. We set up a corner in the sunroom where I used to read, and suddenly that forgotten part of me stirred awake. The paintbrush felt foreign in my hand at first, like a limb I hadn't used in decades. But by evening I was making strokes, bold ones, unafraid. Something had changed in me, and I wasn't sure what. The third morning, I woke early and wrapped myself in my old satin robe. It was warmer than expected, and I cracked the window open. Morning light poured through. I didn't hear Elise come in. She'd wanted to borrow my camera for her journaling, she said. When she opened the door, I was turned away, leaning forward to reach the teacup I'd placed on the windowsill. The way her eyes widened, I knew. The robe had fallen more open than I'd realized. "Oh, I'm so sorry," she said, backing out quickly. "It's fine," I said instinctively, tightening the sash. But my heart fluttered strangely. Not because of embarrassment. Well, not only that, but because for the first time in a long while I felt seen. Not invisible. Not dismissed. Not old. I didn't sleep much that night. The next day, Elise left. She hugged me longer than she had when she arrived. "You should keep painting," she said. "You're different when you paint. Lighter." After she was gone, I walked into the sunroom. My painting was unfinished. A deep blue scene of trees folding over a lake. I added more that day. More the next. Each brushstroke felt like reclaiming something I had lost. I began to wear soft dresses around the house again, ones I hadn't worn in years. I started calling old friends, even signed up for a community class on art history. I found myself smiling more in the mirror. Not because I looked younger, but because I looked alive. That moment, when Elise walked in and saw more of me than I meant to show, wasn't about exposure or embarrassment. It was about awakening. About realizing how deeply I had vanished into the quiet of my life. Now, at 68, I wake to music in the morning, paint through the afternoons, and fall asleep beside a window cracked open to the cool evening air. I am still alone in this house. But I am no longer silent. I am still here. And I am still becoming.